Hello Year 5, Mr. Hill here with your computing for this week. Now we're going to move on. We spent a lot of time last term focusing on internet safety, keeping our reputations up, what was appropriate behavior. We're going to move on for that. We're going to do something a little more exciting. We're going to be doing some animation this term. So we're going to be using stop motion and we're going to make our own as we go through. But first things first, what is stop motion? Stop motion is a method of filming that takes or makes inanimate objects appear to move. So if you look back at my introduction, I've got a load of lettered tiles that have just walked across the floor and made the words "computing with Mr. Hill" and then written down your learning objective for today. Now, it looks like they're moving, but it's actually a really clever piece of software that stitched together 109 separate photographs into one seamless roll of film. That's what you're going to be having a try with this term. So some examples of stop motion films that you may already know of, to give you some ideas of what's actually possible with this software. So you've got my example at the beginning, a really simple, nice way of developing something to show you how it works. Now, these guys have gone the next step. You've got Early Man, Flushed Away, The Pirates. The Fantastic Mr. Fox is a slightly different way. So Early Man, Flushed Away, and The Pirates is all done with what's called claymation. So it's animated clay models that they're making move. Fantastic Mr. Fox was done slightly differently. It wasn't clay, it was done with a bigger skeleton underneath with fur and clothing. And of course, you've got the originals. You've got Wallace and Gromit, who started this all off. And this was some of the ideas that I had, and I've enjoyed rewatching some of the Wallace and Gromit films to get some ideas of what we might be able to achieve. So where do we start? We start with a storyboard that gives us the outline of the story and how we want it to run through. Here was my storyboard. So I've had a run through the process to understand what we're doing. So I've taken a Lego minifigure. It's going to climb up a pencil, fall down the pencil, kick it over and run away from it. Once we've got that, we organize the resources that we need. We need to think about how that character will move and what you will need to get them to move. Now, we'll cover this in a bit more detail later on. And then set up our camera and film the scene. And then once we've done that, if we need to, we can go back and look at some of the photographs and think, that doesn't really work. The movement I've got there doesn't really work. I can go back, I can delete some of it, I can put new bits in. We can edit our work the same as we do in our writing when we take our purple pen to it. We can do a kind of digital version of this. And then once you've done that, you can share your work with everybody. So first things first, what we will need to do is plan out our storyboard. So you can divide your piece of paper up. I did it into 8 squares. It gave me a nice space to work with. I could draw out my ideas, bit of writing underneath. So you might want to go back and have a look at the bigger version of this earlier in the video. Might give you some ideas as to how you're going to build your story. You might go for something that's a little more detailed than what I've done. Just be careful you're not trying to take on too much. Remember, this is something that we're just learning how to do, so it might take us a bit of time to get it right. What I will do, I'll put some ideas of what we can use, different techniques you can use for stop motion, and build it in from there. So if you look in the description, there's a link to another video That will enable you to have a look and get you some ideas whether you're going to use Lego minifigures, whether you're going to use soft toys, whether you're going to use plastic toys, whether you might want to use letters like I did for my introduction and tell a story that way, whether you want to use paper and drawings. It's entirely up to you. This is going to be your project as we move through this term. So have a watch of the video, have a think about a storyline you might like to follow, and then work out what the simplest way of doing it might be. Good luck. I look forward to seeing your work put up on Tapestry over the course of this week. Take care, stay safe. We'll see you again very soon.